I'm going to check myself into a mental hospital so that the state will take my son away from me. My son, 13, is profoundly autistic, severely intellectually disabled. His developmental age is around 18 months, and he suffers from intermittent explosive disorder. I have chronic anxiety, treatment-resistant depression, and complex PTSD from childhood trauma that was never addressed. I've been hospitalized twice after suicide attempts, the last time just 8 months ago. The medications they put me on make me foggy, but without them, I can't sleep more than 2 hours at a time. I just can't be his mother anymore. I want to believe that I love him, but I feel like that's just some biological programming, maternal instinct that means nothing. There's nothing really to love about him in the traditional sense. He can't speak a single word. He screams for hours when upset, and he actively pushes away any physical affection I try to give him. All he does is hurt himself, attack others without warning, and systematically destroy everything in our home. 3 TVs in 2 years. Every single picture frame smashed. My bedroom door has been kicked through twice. I've been fighting for years to get him into a residential facility, but there's a 5-year waiting list for children with his level of needs in my state. The social worker says his case is priority, but that means nothing when there are hundreds of families in crisis ahead of us. His father disappeared before he was even born, and my parents are elderly and cannot handle him for more than an hour. Last month, I called Child Protective Services on myself in desperation because he managed to get out of the house at 3 a.m. The temperature was below freezing, and he was only wearing underwear. A neighbor found him 3 blocks away at 6:30 in the morning, playing in mud. CPS just told me to install alarms on all exterior doors, which I did immediately. $600 I couldn't afford. Within 2 weeks, he figured out how to disconnect them. Then he learned how to disable the backup battery. I'm terrified that someday I'll be that mother you see on the news who snapped and did something unforgivable. I haven't slept more than 3 consecutive hours in 5 years. Every moment he's awake, I have to be hypervigilant. My house looks like a prison. Locks on everything. Cabinets secured with padlocks. Refrigerator with a chain. Windows screwed shut. I have to hide all cleaning supplies at a neighbor's house because he drinks them. The school keeps sending him home early because they can't manage his behaviors. I lost my job because of it. Now we survive on disability payments that barely cover rent. The respite care I'm entitled to never materializes because no providers will take him after the first visit. The last caregiver quit after he bit her arm so hard she needed stitches. I want him to be safe. I want him to have proper care, but I also want him gone from my home. No one will help us, so the only thing I can think to do to force the system's hand is to have myself committed again. If there's no one to care for him, they'll have to place him somewhere. I've already packed his favorite blanket and toys. I'll drive him to the emergency psychiatric department and tell them I'm suicidal, which isn't even a lie. Maybe this time someone will listen. Maybe this time they'll understand that I'm not a monster. I'm just completely broken, with nothing left to give. Every day I search for a glimmer of connection with him, some tiny sign that there's mutual recognition between us. But most days it feels like caring for a destructive hurricane that happens to live in a human body. The guilt of these thoughts crushes me, but I can't pretend anymore. The support groups tell me to celebrate small victories, but they don't understand what it's like when there are no victories, just slightly less catastrophic days. My friend stopped calling years ago. My sister says I should institutionalize him, as if I haven't been begging for exactly that. Sometimes I find myself researching states with better services, planning impossible moves with money I don't have. The only thing keeping me going is the fear of what would happen to him if I weren't here at all. But I'm not really here anymore, just a hollow shell going through the motions, counting pills at night and wondering if there's enough to make it all stop.